Alright, hello everybody, my name is Mod, and welcome back to the world. It's probably been around a month or two since the last video by now, but we have a lot to do and a lot planned for this episode. So I think the first thing that I want to go over is there's a lot of area here that's pretty undeveloped or underdeveloped compared to what I want it to be at, like this area here, and especially this back area over here, because there's sort of been a trend in this world where, if I hop on a free cam here, I can show you, we've sort of developed this area, which is a mountain, like a hand-built mountain. This area over here, obviously, and then underneath here too, which is all hand-built mountain, all under here too, but if we fly on over here, as long as you don't really count this area here, there really isn't much to be shown for when it comes to custom mountains. Now, right now, it's not really obvious what we could put here. Now, since the last video, which is the world tour, and even before that, I've done quite a bit of planning as to what I want to do over here. And since then, I've come up with a couple of different ideas. Now, my first idea was to sort of completely redo this whole mountain here and sort of more flowy into the valley here, which would already be quite a bit of work. And then we'd also have a path coming from the jungle valley down that way, sort of coming around this way, going back up this hill here, and then maybe I'd put like a building of some sort on top. That was one of the ideas I had, and then that trend would sort of continue all the way down this way too, and then connect to the other parts of the world. And what I think I want to do is just go ballistic. Make a massive valley here, just tons of mountains, and I want to try and do some custom trees too, and they won't be like the normal custom trees. And what I mean by that is these are the usual custom trees I do, which are really big, they take a lot of resources, but what I've gone ahead and done is I've planned out a couple of different custom trees, which unlike most of the trees not only here but in the rest of the world, are all made of oak leaves. And what I'm trying to get here is that obviously we're going to be making the valley like I had mentioned, and in valleys a lot of the time you sort of see spruce trees or pine trees which expand for miles and miles a lot of the time. And speaking of spruce leaves, if we take a minute and fly all the way down here, we have an absolutely huge spruce tree biome right over here, which is nice because it's right on our doorsteps really. But I still have like such an untapped gold mine of spruce leaves, I feel like it's a waste not putting them to use. But before we do that, we're gonna have to get these mountains done. Now luckily I have a bunch of cobblestone from my cobblestone generator down here, and all this can be sort of used at my super smelter down in the giant temple we have this way. And that's how we'll get a lot of our stone. Now the rest of the blocks I want to try and use some tuff, andesite, even some cobblestone in some areas to sort of spice it up a little bit. We're also going to need a bunch of grass to make it look really lush and make it all look, you know, naturey like I have in the other areas. So what I think I'll do is let's hop into time-lapse mode. I'll grab a bunch of shulkers, get that all ready, and we'll start mining. Okay, so we're just about done, and I'm really hoping that it'll be enough because we've collected so many shulkers of just grass blocks, and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to finish the rest of these shulkers here without having to go to the end where I have my XP farm and fix my shovel. So I guess I'll just get back to digging. I think we only have 2 shulker blocks left pretty much. Oh, and actually I almost forgot. I wanted to get one of my dogs so they could just overlook the progress. This valley was probably like one of the biggest projects I've had to do so far, especially when it comes to like material collecting and especially leaf collecting. But the one that we're gonna have over here is gonna be just that much bigger. I'm not gonna spoil too much because I want it to be exciting for the video, but yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Anyway, let's grab you, and here we go, come on. And by the way, I know it's a little bit late, but I literally don't have a name for him, so if you guys could comment some sort of name, I would love to hear you guys' suggestions. And look at him, he deserves it. Okay, little guy, you can sit here and you can watch the progress. Alrighty, so it looks like I found the limit on my shovels. They're pretty much all broken, and I only have, yeah, like half a shulker left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if this will be enough grass, and if not, I'll go ahead and do more. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go to the end portal, go to the end, and fix up all of my tools. Alright everyone, so I also had to get pathing for the new project, so what I've done is I've flown all the way over here to our swamp, and I'm just gonna go ahead and collect some mud so we can make some mud packed bricks and packed mud, and this will really help texture up like the different paths that we'll have. So I'm gonna come back with hopefully a couple of shulker boxes of this mud, and I'll see you then. I've gone ahead and collected a whole bunch of mud, and I even have some extra here that couldn't fit in these shulker boxes. But I'm going to craft this up into some useful building blocks, and then I think what we'll do is we'll actually get started on like the base sort of outline of where we're going to build. And we're actually missing a couple of materials, like we're missing a lot of leaves, like a lot of leaves that I'll have to end up collecting. But I want to see how far we'll get in the building without having to worry about trees, like building trees, I mean. So to run you through my plan quickly, basically, I want to make this path wind all the way through and go up this path, even connecting down this way, so it connects back to this path here, and then sort of leads all the way up, and then heading this way it will lead up here. There's going to be a lake, probably I'd like to have it around here, through a valley, just going all the way through like a mountain range, basically on the left and right, and then eventually leading all the way back down to just about over here, I'd say. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna stop talking about that. I think I just would like to get started now. So yeah, I'll see you in the time lapse. Alright everyone, so we've come across another issue, and it's not an issue that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. Like, I'm not surprised this happened, but essentially we've completely run out of materials, well, grass mainly. Now initially I actually had this entire double chest, like this section over here, completely full of grass blocks, kind of like how these chests are, but this led all the way down here, so this entire bottom row which is full of grass, and that pretty much only netted us this amount of progress over here, which isn't bad. Hear me out, it's not bad, but we're gonna need a lot more, because I'm planning to sort of like wind this up this way, and then not only that, but we have to push this land back way down here, so this path will sort of lead down this way and wind across. So we're probably gonna need maybe double the amount of grass that I've just collected, which is a shame, but I mean, it's got to be done. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've come all the way down to this village where we actually got a lot of our villagers from for our villager trader and breeder. You can actually see the railroad going all the way down here, but that's besides the point. Basically, what I'm getting at is that I have a bunch of these shulkers over here, and I figured, hey, since we're going to be building all the way over here anyway, I might as well just try and collect all of this grass like over there, and same thing over here too, since all of this is going to be covered up by unnatural land anyway, so I can sort of terraform it the way I want. But my vision also is from over here, like this village area, you're gonna get another like nice view of the mountain here, and this will transition eventually so it sort of surrounds this entire like mountain range, I guess. Yeah, it's like a mountain range, so it surrounds the entire mountain range here. So what we'll have to do, I'll go ahead and transition into another time lapse, and you'll go ahead and see me pretty much remove all of this grass here. I have a bunch of these shovels, and yeah, right now there isn't too much durability on this one. I'll have to repair it, but there isn't too much that we can do when it comes to automating farms or anything, so I'm just gonna have to grind this out. I think that should do it for this section of the video. What do you think, little guy? I also wanted to show off what I actually did, like in more detail. Of course, there was a time lapse, but you're kind of seeing that from a distance. So I guess I'll start right around here. Obviously, we have a path leading all the way through the valley that goes to the end of it. And I actually have some more stuff I've planned out. As you can see, there's some coarse dirt kind of leading down. I'm sure that you can kind of guess it's just going to connect back up to that end of the path. And not only that, but I want to have a path sort of leading this way. So you can kind of have a path going not only to that house, but to the castle, and then that'll link everything up to the rest of our world. So yeah, we'll do that later on in the episode. What I think I'll do next is fill up the rest of this little lake. Not only fill it up, but we also have to detail it. And I think I have some tropical fish that I can grab either from, we have a pond over here. We can grab some tropical fish from down there, bring them over here, or I'll just find new ones. The most grueling part, I think, even more grueling than, you know, making the mountains, is going to be to greenify everything. Not only that, but we also have a bunch of torches underneath, and then a bunch of sections without torches, which I'll have to light up later on, but I need to be careful. There are a lot of mobs. Anyway, I'm sure you've also noticed, but there's a bunch of paths here. These paths are actually going to be useful. I'm not just going to have them as blocks. I'm actually going to put a bunch of slabs and, you know, a couple stairs here and there. And I'm sure, I think I mentioned it earlier in the episode, but I'm sure that this hole over here sort of makes it obvious that I'm going to be building a big temple right here. Not a big temple. It's probably going to be a little smaller than the temple that we have over there. But I do want it to be a little more detailed, and this time I'm actually going to do an interior, or at least I'm hoping to do that. And then a big focus is going to be, you know, interiors and really making the world feel like it's a home. So I'm going to go grab a little bit of dirt or something easy to break, maybe netherrack even, because if I put dirt, I'm going to get confused and end up breaking the dirt here. So I'll go grab some like netherrack and some like really easy to break block, put some water on top of it, and make everything source. Let's get back to building, and I'll see you then. Alright, so I know this looks really ugly right now, but don't worry, it'll look a lot better. Hold on, let me go to a block and I'll do a cool YouTuber transition. Okay, I'll go over here, and I even put on shaders for this. So here's one. Alright, and I'll spin around. And there we go. As you can hear, there's a bunch of zombies underneath me. I think that's just because of the lack of torches, but I want to add a couple of things like coral fans and maybe a couple of lanterns on top, sort of like how I have on some of my other lakes. So what might look best for now is to just start covering the mountains here with a little bit of greenery. I also think azalea leaves might be a really like important pop in color, just to give a little purple. I hope you guys like time lapses, because I think like half of this video is just gonna be a time lapse. So I'll see you guys there.
There she was.
Alright, and this is our progress so far. I've done the first little mountain peak over here. Well, not little, but first mountain peak. And I think it's already made the build look, you know, a million times better. I can't wait to keep building on top of this. So if we come up a little closer here, I made the path pretty cozy. Of course, this sort of style is going to be replicated for this mountain here. And you can see I tried using ferns as well. I'd never really used ferns in any other part of the world, which I will have to change, but I made sure to give a good sightline to like the rest of the area so you can kind of tell where you are. And like I said before, all of this will have like slabs on it, so it'll look more natural and it'll also like act natural so you can actually go up without having to jump manually. But anyway, up here, this keeps on going. I made sure to add tons of like cornflowers, rose bushes, everything you could think of pretty much. And I'm really happy with these trees. Like, they look amazing from afar, but I think they might actually look even better up close. I think each of these is pretty unique, and it really, yeah, even this area, it just looks really nice. And I think right now, actually, I'll go ahead and add some plants here to make it more greenery. Anyway, so this leads up here where I do plan to build something. I don't know exactly what. Maybe it'll be a small temple, kind of like down there, or a shrine, but from here you can also see the river, or not the river, the lake rather. It's up here, and I think I did a good job detailing it, and I'll go into that shortly. So I saw a design, I think by Xantix, where he made these cattails, and I absolutely love them. They look really nice, and I think they add a lot to like your water or your lakes, so highly recommend it. But I also made sure that I add the signature coral fans on top of the trapdoors here, and you can't see it now because it's not nighttime, but at night the water lights up with these sea pickles, which looks really good. And of course I added a ton of greenery underneath here, and I'll also add some kelp, I think. And we can't forget our fish. Our fish here are very important. I named them all Fish Guy because it's easy, and I think that helps them just not despawn. So maybe they, no, never mind, they don't despawn anyway, but it's nice to name them. It's a tradition of sorts. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this view so far. And speaking of views, I like this view a lot, and I think that I could do a lot with this area in general. So what my idea is, I think for next episode we'll do this. I want to make a mountain here and continue it down this way. So we'll not only have like a mountain valley this way, but we'll also have one this way, and potentially one over here this way, sort of leading on, continuing the trend of mountain ranges, and just make it massive, like absolutely massive, but not just massive, but very detailed like we have over here so far. Anyway, I don't want to get too carried away with ideas, so I think we should just start building the next section. So yeah, back to time-lapse mod. I'll see you guys there. Okay everyone, I am back, and obviously you guys saw the time-lapse progress, but I think it's been like, what, a week? Probably 5 days or so since we've last chatted, but I wanted to show off all the progress we've made. So of course we have our beautiful peaks here with the valley and everything. I'm really happy with how these trees turned out. They turned out way better than I thought they would. And I've also gone ahead and decorated a lot of like the right side of the mountain with our shulker boxes here. I gathered a bunch of decoration blocks, which in our next time lapse is gonna also be me using those blocks to decorate the left side here. But flying up here, obviously you can see that a lot of the front, like towards me area, is done, but the back here is not. So what I think I'll do is, because I've spent so much time already on this episode doing this like repetitive motion constantly, I think I'm getting a little tired of it. So what I'll do is I'll save that for next episode, and we can really like have our focus on making great details. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and gather a bunch of materials here, and I think we'll just jump straight into it, finish up a lot of this decorating, which hopefully will just be done today. It shouldn't take too long, maybe a couple hours, maybe less. And then by then, we'll be good to go. So I'll see you then. I don't even know where to begin. I've done this for so many hours. And I honestly think I might just call it here because I need to get this video out and I feel bad making you guys wait so long for this. I feel like it just needs to be done. The good news is though, we have made way more progress than I thought we would. So obviously this area still needs to be worked on and I'll do that next episode. But yeah, flying up here, you can see just how much there is. It's a pretty unique area. I've never done anything like that before, but I do want to sort of expand it so we can sort of, I'm out of rockets, but we can see it sort of go along this way and transition into the city here that we have yet to work on very much. And then our other lake here. So it has been a long time in the making. I think I've said in the past I want to try and upload every 2 weeks or so, which obviously I haven't held my part up on, but I will try to do that more in the future with these smaller episodes, you know, after this whole project, of course. In the next video, what I think I'm just going to do is add the rest of the greenery here, start working on the temple. Maybe that might be for another episode, but yeah, we'll see. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we can do, and this is the first time actually that I've been able to come over here and show off a build on this side rather than just over on this side. So we're making a lot of progress, and I want to say thank you for your patience and thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.